This is what we describe as a hard hammer, and it's a quartzite pebble. You pick up the flake of flint, and what you do is you tilt the area that you're going to strike down towards the ground. And then accurately and carefully, what you do is you strike away the material on the edge around the front. This is slowly releasing the material and sending it backwards. What we're looking for now is an angle just here, which is about 70 degrees to the surface that's going to be left behind after the flake is released. I'm fairly confident that this angle now is what we need, but currently this edge is still sharp enough to cut us. And what that means is that when we strike it, what we're going to do is we'll break a sequence of flakes off rather than one. So now what we're going to do is use this same pebble and give it a new job called abrading. What you can find is that there can be some discrepancies in the shape of the face that need to be ironed out at the same time as abrading it. And this is reasonably well formed now. The next thing to do is to put this to the side of the leg in a very upright position and strike this point. I still have concerns that this is too sharp, even though it won't cut anymore, so I'm going to braid that back just slightly more. Okay, now I'm convinced that what I have is as good as it could be. A bit of leg protection never goes amiss when you're striking these flakes off, because you need to be quite positive about what you're going to do. What we have here is, we call this a soft hammer. It's quite a large section of red deer antler, and it's the face of the coronet that we're going to be using to strike that flake. So if you can see that I have that in a very upright position, almost leaning over, and then we offer this coronet face up to it, ready for that impact. It doesn't hurt to rev the soft hammer up, so you're building up an intention which is good for that flake removal. And then you've taken your shot. So far we haven't made a release, so we'll put that back. And we'll take another go. Okay, that was the one. We'll see what we've actually achieved. So we can tell at this point there's been several things happen. Push away what's definitely not required, and lift out this particular flake. It's marginally thin, but actually I think that what we've got on our hands here is something that we could produce into a fairly reasonable arrowhead. Beyond that point you can see a bit of debitage that also came away, and when you really discover why that happened, you need to take a deeper look at the face of this coronet. And generally what we're looking at here is it isn't a polished face, so the inevitability of that is it touched the flint probably 2 to 3 times at the point of impact instead of just once.